biggest takeaway from OTAs, not Lance related. I mean, why don't
Yeah.
you go first? I mean, you
Yeah.
digested all the information.
Well, I'll say this again. I'm just going off of interviews and little videos that I saw. Actually, it is Brandon Ayuk. And it was interesting to me that he came out and took a lot of ownership with the way that he was in the quote unquote doghouse last year. He talked about how, with the young receivers on this team and new receivers on this team, without Debo basically being there, that he's got to take a leadership role. He's got to set the tone for what the expectations are in that locker room. I actually thought that was pretty cool because he really has come across a lot like an introvert up to that point. And it doesn't mean that you can't be a leader if you're an introvert, but to say that outwardly tells me that you have a lot of confidence in where you stand with this team, much like Trey Lance does. And so for me, you're seeing, without Debo there, without Trent Williams there, Jimmy's not there. You're seeing a whole crop of new leaders across this team. And to see Trey Lance take the reins, I think we kind of expected that. I don't think many people looked at Ayuk and are like, yeah, that guy's captain material. But maybe he is, right? Like, I thought that was a really cool thing that he said. So
Interesting. I hadn't thought about him as a potential captain, but he was at rookie minicamp just to watch. That's kind of captain type of stuff. Now, Javon Kinlaw was there as well, but he's like rehabbing. Like, I didn't have to be here, came here. Yeah, he was at. No? He wasn't just rookie minicamp. He was at the local tryout, the local pro day.
yeah, that's right. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? The local
Yeah.
pro day. So to me, that he is a guy who does seem motivated to take ownership in all those ways. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I got more takeaways. I mean, first of all, they didn't do much 11 on 11s, but I saw how they were warming up with their offensive line, and they did some 11 on 11s. And I know that's not going to be their offensive line in training camp or week one, but on that day, all 5 starters were gone. Lakin being one of them. He's gone. Trent wasn't there. Mac's not back yet. Brunskill has knee tendonitis, and McGlinchey is, on his road to recovery. So the Niners are really like sort of
Hodgepodging it.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, it's gonna be fine, but like not yet. And maybe by the beginning of training camp, but it's like they're waiting on McGlinchey, they're waiting on Brunskill, they're waiting on Mac. Trent Williams will be there. He won't do much in training camp, but and then Aaron Banks has to be good. That's their offensive line. So that's a little bit of, it could work out. It could, but there still are 4 question marks on it right now, including Brunskill, who apparently has knee tendonitis. Who knew?
Yeah, we don't want to talk about players' knees. We know what that leads to, but I would say this. Aaron Banks was there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How did he look?
I mean, again, no pads, no helmet, 11 on 11 for I don't know. Okay. All I know is that he was the starter. They're giving him the first crack at winning this job. So we'll see what he looks like when they put the pads on, but I don't know.
Okay. It's tough to say. I would say
I can say he looked in better shape.
Okay, that's good.
More like an NFL player. I mean, last year he looked like a rookie for sure.
Okay.
He looked like
he's good.
Been in a weight room for a while. He looked good.
Okay. Yeah. So maybe what the 49ers have been telling us all offseason. Now, we haven't seen it for ourselves for sure, but that's a good sign towards, hey, maybe they do have a lot of confidence in who Aaron Banks is and what he was towards the end of the season, right? He's in much better shape. He looks physically more put together. That's a good start. Like, that's all that you can say, but that's really all that was available. So that's not the worst thing in the world.
I got 2 more. Malik Turner is going to, there's always some wide receiver that you may not have heard of, but he's been in the league a little bit, and all of a sudden he just tears it up in training camp. That could be him because he tore it up yesterday. He's fast. He had a 60-yard touchdown. He burned George Odom, who might be a good player. So he's one. It doesn't mean it'll translate because it didn't translate for Trent Sherfield, but I think you're going to be reading about Malik Turner. And then one more. We were all wondering, is there going to be a competition that's strong safety? From what I can tell, no. It's Talanoa's job. I think he got all the reps with the starters. And again, what Eric Davis said a long time ago, but when he said Richard Sherman should move to safety.
Yeah.
And I was like, is he fast enough to play safety? And he's like, look, man, I played with Merton Hanks. Merton Hanks was not super fast, and he was a great safety who intercepted hella passes because he had instincts. So again, if that's Hufanga, great. He didn't break up any passes in this practice, but to his credit, he didn't give up any long touchdowns either, unlike George Odom. And him and Jimmy Ward together really forced Trey Lance to throw a bunch of short passes, which is sort of what Jimmy Ward and Tart usually do to people. So all credit to Talanoa. Let's see what he does.
That's good. Was Moore on the field at all practicing?
Yes, but not with the starters.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious to see how he's recovering from.
With Dante Johnson, a couple of backups.